Hello, it's Bob and Kathy from Up Trail 71, and we're back at the Porcupine Mountains, one of our favorite areas in the western part of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This will be our first trip of the year here for 2023, and a little different on this trip. We're starting on the south end. We parked at the Speakers Trailhead, and we're going to hike up to Lake Superior Trail. It's only about a half mile, a little spur trail here. And then I think it's about a 4-mile hike to the campsite. And we'll be camping right on Lake Superior. I believe that's Lake Superior campsite number 4. And it should be awesome, right by the mouth of the river, Little Carp River I believe it is. But we're starting our hike and it's a beautiful day, upper 70s. And so we should enjoy this. Well, let's go check out this sign. Lake Superior Trail, Little Carp River is 3.5 miles. So that's where we're going. Check out the map, and this is a trailhead that we parked at. Hiked a half mile to right there. Now we'll be taking Lake Superior Trail to the Little Carp River. Our campsite should be right about there somewhere. And as you can see on this sign right here, this is also part of the North Country Trail. One thing that we've been noticing, it's very dry right now. This little stream has only got trickles of water. Makes the hiking a lot easier. I'm sure in the spring or wet season it can be all flooded in here. It's always cool first time you've ever hiked on a trail. There's still a few more trails in Porcupine Mountains that we have never hiked on. And this is just another one to chalk off our list. We're a little over a mile into this hike, and it's actually a very nice forest. It's a lot of hemlock trees. This is there's a few mosquitoes, not too bad. And this is one of the oldest forests in the US from what I read. It's a virgin forest that hasn't been cut, or at least half of this park, of the 60,000 acres, has never been cut ever. So you'll get to see some very large trees. Well, right along the trail, just spotted this. Looks like an animal jaw from most likely a deer.
Very small.
Yeah, that's a nice little spot.
Told ya.
Definitely. Hasn't been very much rain lately around here, but you'll get some groundwater that'll seep through the ground. You'll get those slick spots. You can tell this is a good sized stream at one time. I know they're way behind the rain in this area. You gotta check this out over here, what somebody wrote. Looks like some kids did this. Okay, these are mushrooms. There's a heart, happy hiking, and a smiley face. There you can see where we are right now. Not too much further, and we'll be at our campsite.
Up and over.
Well, how was that little part of the trail?
Awful.
Yeah, just one small section with about 10 or 12 trees blown over. Well, there's a blaze on a tree right there. Yeah, it looks like we go down this hill. I think there's some kind of a stream down there. We'll find out in a few minutes. And this will be the stream. As you can tell, at one time this would have been a decent sized stream. But like I said before, with the lack of rain in this area lately, it's very shallow. And we have this cool garter snake on the trail. That's a decent size. Got a campsite down there. See, you have a nice little campfire. Should be getting close to our campsite. Maybe about possibly half a mile at most, I would guess. Now it looks like we go downhill. Another little stream crossing.
Bottle pop out.
It looks like we have a little bridge coming up. It's kind of cool. Got like a rope for a handle. Of course the stream is shallow, like we've been seeing. And you see all these berry bushes. What kind of berry bushes are these? And I don't see berry. There's a berry back here. I'll show you what it looks like. They're edible. It's got like a, it almost looks like a maple leaf. It's very soft, very large. And here's one of the berries. They're kind of different tasting. They're a little sour, but they're good. And of course right now we're getting some nice views of Lake Superior. The first good views on this trail. And of course that's the southern part of the trail we just hiked on. About a 4-mile section, or just over 4 miles. And about the last third of a mile is where you start getting some lake views. Otherwise there wasn't a whole lot for views, but the forest was nice.
South Boundary Road, 3 miles.
South Boundary Road, 3 miles. That's where we could have parked at before.
Right.
Still on North Country Trail. Pinkerton Creek Trail. Lake Superior Trail, 1.5 miles from here. Little Carp River, that's where we're going to, a 1/4 mile.
That sounds better.
So we're very close now. And I can hear the Little Carp River right down there. On a sitting bench. And it looks like there's a cabin in the woods right next to Lake Superior, right over there. And we're going to have some kind of stairs to go down. Oh wow, it's actually kind of nice. Quite a few of them. What do you think? How is it hiking down stairs compared to just a regular trail going down a hill?
Yeah.
At least it's not so slippery. Oh. And they continued on all the way for the bridge crossing. So this is cool. Yeah, look at that. It goes right across the stream. What's that?
That would be the perfect spot to leave.
Oh wow. Yeah, is that cool? Boy, I could just swim down there, relax. Not sure if it'd be like a hot tub. I'm sure the water's a little cool.
It's pretty shallow up here.
Right. Anyway, see what the other side looks like. It goes right to Lake Superior. Okay, campsite LC14 area. I believe will be Lake Superior number 4. So we must be down here somewhere. Okay, now let's see if this will be our campsite. LS4. That's where our home will be for the night. And this looks like a real nice spot. A lot of large trees. Perfect spot for, yeah, it's our tent again. Be right here. Just so easy to pack that tent and throw it in a pack.
Supper on the beach.
Oh, I know, that sounds good. And we have this firing area. So we get to have a fire again tonight. There's a lot of rocks around here, a little windbreak. Rocks make a nice little sitting area. Looks like somebody had some clotheslines hanging up. Pretty much set a tent anywhere. This looks like a nice spot right here for a tent. Nice and flat. Close to the lake. And look how close to the lake we are. Wow, this is awesome. Just look at this. What a beautiful spot. little further down there you can see where the other campsite is. So they're far enough away. Definitely private. I believe there's another campsite not far from us. Yeah, there's some people over there camping. This could be, very possibly could be my favorite campsite of all time. Because it's more peaceful. And of course, oh, I love these large trees right in here. This is excellent. Yeah, and look at the lake. This is my favorite part. I just love Lake Superior, largest freshwater lake in the world. Okay, I'll cook up my dinner here. Use some heat from my little alcohol stove. Pour some in it. Usually some around approximately 28 ounces. I'm gonna light it. 14 ounces of water. And I'm gonna make sure it's sturdy enough here. It's a little tippy. Windscreen. I always want to use the windscreen as the alcohol stove. It'll trap some of the heat. Actually heats up your pot a lot faster, the water. Same thing with a lid on your cup or your pot. You want to make sure you have a lid on. And tonight's meal, right here. Chicken and mashed potatoes. Definitely looking forward to this. Now I'm going to give this a try. First you take the packets of potatoes out. It's like a powdery form. Added 14 ounces of water to the chicken. Seal it back up for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it may have been. Then you'll add your powdery form of the potatoes in here. Mashed potatoes. Sit another 4 or 5 minutes sealed up, and it turns out it looks decent. A good meal. You can see how much room is in this Z-Pax duplex tent. This is a 6-foot long sleeping pad. There's plenty of room up by the head. And you can see plenty of room back by the feet. And then we'll have another one here, so it'll be too wide. So far we have really liked our Z-Pax duplex tent. It's got plenty of room for 2 people. It's very lightweight. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room to pack. And like you've seen in my videos so far for about the last year and a half, this has been our go-to shelter. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love my hammock. The hammock is actually a little more comfortable, but it takes a little more time to set up, which isn't a big deal. And it takes maybe a little more room, possibly a little more weight than a tent. Both are good options. We like both, but we've been using the duplex tent here as our go-to for the last year and a half because we'd like to do a future long hike. And we want to get used to the tent again. So, looks like the sun should be setting within an hour, so we'll be watching the sunset. I'm going to filter some water. Well, that was a nice sunset. Now we're going to go make ourselves a nice fire. Well, I decided to make some hot chocolate tonight. And there's this little rack that was sitting over here. So we put in a fire. Just going to heat up the water in my cup right there. There, I'm just kicking back, enjoying my hot chocolate next to our nice warm fire. And soon I'm going to hang up the bear bag, and then we're going to jump into our tent, and we'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everyone. We slept very good last night, especially being so close to the lake. The waves are a lot larger today. Just had some winds that came through. Feel a slight breeze, but it doesn't feel that windy. You can check out these waves. Well, this is what our bear pole looks like. Of course, I noticed it's all bent when I came here last night. Definitely not very high off the ground. I would imagine a bear must have did this who knows when. At least it looks like the critters didn't get into it. You can see I have a little tape on my Z-Pack bear bag. That was from back when I did my Superior hiking trail hike. I actually burned a little hole in it by accident. Well, you can see we have everything all packed up now. You always want to make sure your fire's out. And we'll be getting on trail very soon. Always hard to leave this beautiful place. Take one last look at the lake before we go. I'm not exactly sure what route we're going to take back to the trailhead. We have two options. We can hike the Lake Superior Trail, the one we did yesterday, so it'd be just backtracking. Or we could take the Pinkerton Trail. I think that's about 2.6 miles, but then we have a 2-mile road hike. Distances it would equal about the same, or maybe slightly more if we take the Pinkerton Trail. But I'm not too crazy about taking a 2-mile road hike. It's not a big deal, we've done it before. I'd rather be in the woods, but we'll just wait and see. It would be nice to see a little different scenery, I guess. South Boundary Road is 3 miles. Or we can backtrack. That's 3.5 miles and another half mile to the road. I don't know, what do you think? Actually, I think it'd be a hair closer if we backtrack.
I don't know.
Plus we don't have to worry about a 2-mile road hike.
Right. Let's just do this.
Alright, we're just going to backtrack back. Maybe someday we'll take this other trail. We go out to Lake Superior campsite in the future again. And before we leave the Porcupine Mountains State Park, we're going to make one last little quick stop and check out a couple of beautiful waterfalls in the Presque Isle area. Oh, it looks like we've made it to the junction, so it should be only a half mile to the trailhead. And we'll be taking a left right here. And this is an extremely easy trail to walk on. Now we're almost back to the trailhead, less than a quarter mile from here. It's been a perfect weekend. The weather's been near 80, just under 80. Get right up to Lake Superior. It's around 74, 75, and it was perfect. The water is actually starting to get a little warm, at least on the shoreline. And of course, filtering that water and drinking is awesome. Oh, the water is so crystal clear. And thanks again for watching Up Trail 71, and we'll catch you on the next adventure. Okay, what's our first waterfall called?
Nah, dog.
Nadada, I don't know, something like that, falls. Here's a map of the area. Okay, there's a suspension bridge over here. I think we'll check that out. I'm not even sure where we are right now, right here I guess. Yeah, so we'll check this one out, we'll take that little trail. Check out the suspension bridge. Now this is a very beautiful waterfall. Remember this one from years ago. The water level cooled down, but still very nice. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at the rock ledges around here. Wow.
You know what? We had to come right down to the falls here. It's just too beautiful. This is awesome.
I know, it's cool. Cliffs all carved out. Now there's at least one or two more waterfalls down this river. I'm gonna go check those out. Now we're coming up to the waterfall, Mandado Falls. That's beautiful. First lake, the other one. The water level is a little down, but still looks very nice. And we have one more view of the waterfalls from the top. This is just everything about the Porcupine Mountains is beautiful. And of course, way off in the distance, you can see the other waterfall we just saw a little while ago. And we have one more waterfall to check out, and it's right here. Another beautiful looking one. Now we made it to the suspension bridge, and this will be the first time for us to ever cross this. So that's kind of cool. And you can feel the sway in the bridge. Oh wow, look how the rocks are carved out down there. This is beautiful. Look at that. Then we have Lake Superior right over there. You can see the mouth of the river. Some waves coming in. And of course one last stop at Lake Superior.